It's an interesting question. I think things are so early in what I'm doing. There's natural connections, of course, between even Ahsoka and the Mando movie because they're in the same time period. I think we try to keep everything kind of separate because we want people to enjoy the story that they're seeing and not have to worry about the weight of so many stories and so many backgrounds. But it is fun for fans because they're making all these connections. They'll make connections that we don't intend, but there are connections that we do intend.
Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another very exciting Star Wars video. Today we're once again talking about the future of Star Wars movies, because there has been another big development. It seems as though Lucasfilm's movie schedule changes every couple of years, and nothing is really set in stone. Until production begins, until there is a release date or a trailer, you never know for certain if a movie's gonna happen. And worse than this, priorities change, and this often means that some projects never get updates, or are indefinitely delayed. For instance, the Lando movie. First it was a TV show, and now it's going to be a movie by the Glover brothers. But we haven't had an official update in like 2 years. And it's the same with Star Wars Celebration in London. In 2023, Kathleen Kennedy took to the stage and announced the upcoming slate of films. But half of those are no longer really priority for Lucasfilm. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So as we know, there are 2 Star Wars movies we know for certain are going to happen. The Mandalorian and Grogu in 2026 and Star Wars Starfighter in 2027. Mando and Grogu is good to go. The first teaser trailer should be coming in the next few months, sometime this autumn, and Starfighter is getting ready to shoot, and we've already had tons of casting updates. In my last video we spoke about Matt Smith. But in terms of the others, in terms of what's coming after those, we really don't know. And it's never about quantity. I'm ready to take on the next 2 movies and see how those go. But Lucasfilm themselves are the ones who overpromise. They're the ones who come up with these enormous, decade-spanning plans, and they never follow through. And it's going to be very interesting to see which of those they've announced are actually going to get made. The Mangold movie, Filoni's Mandoverse movie, which is separate to Jon Favreau's one, Taika Waititi's film, the Simon Kinberg trilogy, the Rey movie. But today we seem to have confirmation that Lucasfilm has changed their minds once again. Some of the original 2023 movie slate has been deprioritized, and that comes in the form of James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi. He's writing it with Beau Willimon, who recently confirmed the movie is still happening and the writing process is going really well. But it seems like it's no longer a priority for Lucasfilm. According to multiple sources, it was meant to be the one after Starfighter, so coming in 2028 or 2029. But I don't think that's the case anymore. According to a fresh update, James Mangold's going to move on to other things first. He was tired of waiting around for Lucasfilm to give him the green light. And so, I think another Star Wars movie is going to fill the 2028 slot, and I have a pretty good idea of which one that's going to be. More on this in just a second, but the big update is this. Deadline have reported that there is a strong possibility, so not confirmed, but a strong possibility James Mangold is going to reunite with Timothée Chalamet on a brand new motocross heist movie. It's not for certain, but if it happens, it could signal really bad news for a Star Wars movie, and that might be pushed back, similar to the movie by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. And so one by one, the original movie slate announced in 2023 is being nullified. And to make things even stranger, Rogue Squadron by Patty Jenkins could be back on the map. She's still adamant it's gonna happen, and just a few days ago, we got the working title for the Taika Waititi Star Wars movie, and that one was announced in 2020. So there might be a lot of changes happening. Movies we thought were dead could be coming back. And on the other hand, movies that were more or less a certainty to happen at some point are being pushed back. The Mangold one would be a massive loss. Based on the expanded universe books and comics, they can do so much with Dawn of the Jedi, 25,000 years before Episode 1. In terms of canon, characters and themes, the sky's the limit, the origins of the Jedi Order. So if Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi isn't the one coming after Starfighter, the big question remains, which movie's gonna fill that spot? Here's where my prediction comes in. I think Dave Filoni is gonna fast-track his movie. And whenever I talk about this, there's a bit of fan confusion about what his movie's gonna entail. And some people say, don't you mean The Mandalorian and Grogu? No. I'm talking about Dave Filoni's Mando movie. This is going to be the one set after Ahsoka Season 2. There have been rumblings it's going to be some kind of endgame event, although Dave Filoni himself now says he doesn't like that comparison. But I think his movie is going to be fast-tracked, because at Star Wars Celebration in Japan, so just a few months ago, Dave Filoni confirmed he's already started writing the movie. He knows about certain plot tropes and where he wants to go with it. And given his position as CCO, if anyone has the authority to say, you know what, Kathleen Kennedy, I want my movie to come first, it's Dave. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be the next big thing, but as we know with the creative process of the Mandoverse, things can change all the time. Keep in mind, guys, before The Mandalorian and Grogu was a thing, Jon Favreau already finished writing Season 4, and it's not the same thing as the movie. So Dave Filoni's film could also change. We think it's going to be some big culminating event, but it might just be another story to continue it. It might act as a sequel to The Mandalorian and Grogu, or it could even be Ahsoka Season 3, but for the big screen. We don't know what they're going to do with it. And here is a very interesting quote he gives. In an interview with Collider, he said, "It's a long process. It's a long development. One of the reasons I like to work on very large arcs is I try to factor in all of the different things I'm creating and look at them and say, well, how do we do these unique things? What are these set pieces? And where is this story headed? I ask myself these questions because I have general outlines for all of these things. It's a very big strategy. I have all the different pieces, the different storylines, but I've got to figure out how they fit. And sometimes it's a balancing act. I have to think about the present and where things are going for the future." And he alludes to Ahsoka Season 2 being integral to the movie. So I have to wonder if Ahsoka Season 2 is building up to a massive war between the Remnant, Grand Admiral Thrawn, the Grey Mothers, and the New Republic. And I don't know if Dave Filoni wants to do anything with the Grisk, the extra-galactic threat. But what Dave has said is he's already started writing his movie. Different parts of it. He already knows where it's going. And he says this, "I've already worked out some big scenes. I know several of them, and I know where they go." So if I had to guess, I would say that Filoni's movie is going to come after Starfighter. I guess it also depends on the success of The Mandalorian and Grogu, because if it does really well, Dave Filoni might be pressured to kind of incorporate some of those things into his movie. Mando, Grogu, maybe Rotta, and so it's going to be less of a continuation of Ahsoka, and more so the next stage of what we call the Mandoverse. Just my guess. There is nothing confirmed, and like I say with Lucasfilm, things change all the time. But this could be pretty massive. And so now, my dear friends, in other Star Wars movie updates, yesterday I spoke about the casting of Matt Smith. In Star Wars Starfighter, he's going to be a leading villain, alongside Mia Goth. And fans have been speculating that he might be some kind of Sith, or a Force user post-Episode 9. Maybe he's going to be related to Palpatine, or be part of a new cult, but apparently according to Jeff Snyder, that is not the case. In a new report, he said, "A lot of what we've heard is bogus. Matt Smith does not have the Force in this movie. He's going to be some kind of general. And so my guess, if this is true, is he's going to be a First Order remnant, someone who survived the Battle of Exegol, or was nowhere near it." Whenever they say someone's playing a military general, I kind of get really nervous, because Disney Lucasfilm doesn't really know how to do that trope. I mean, look at characters like Hux. Some Ahsoka fans complain about Dave Filoni's portrayal of Thrawn. So this trope is a bit iffy, but Matt Smith is a fantastic actor, so maybe he's going to pull it off. Like I said, I think Starfighter is a great opportunity to do something very different in the sequel trilogy era. And Jeff Snyder doesn't seem too convinced that we are going to get any cameos. So, contrary to popular belief, they might be staying away from Rey. The Resistance is very much still around, as we know from certain reference books, but I definitely think we should take Sean Levy at his word that this film is going to be standalone. So I personally don't know what Lucasfilm is trying to do with this film, if it's going to have any follow-ups, but it seems like there's a big disparity in the words of Kathleen Kennedy and the likes of filmmakers like James Mangold, and Kathleen Kennedy actually addressed this. When asked about the cancellations, she says not everything in development makes it to production, because Lucasfilm likes to work with big ideas. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for the future of Star Wars movies? And of all of the ones announced, which are you most looking forward to? And which one do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below.